Hello. Now we'll talk about the sources of light. Sources which will generate the light, that kind of thing. So we divide the sources. Actually, when we talk about the types of sources, we can have different types based upon the properties we are talking about. So if we talk about the types of sources or types of sources based upon the dimension, we can have again multiple types of source. We can have point source, we can have extended linear source, we can have planar source like floodlights we have. They can be acting as a planar source. Apart from that, based upon the generation of light, we divide the sources into two categories. First type of category is defined as luminous. Luminous source. So these are the source which have their own source of light. Basically, you can talk about sun. You can talk the sun is there, and you can talk about the lights and all. So these are the sources which have their own mechanisms to generate the light. Okay. So when they generate the light, it gets transferred from one location to the location. We have sun, we have electrical bulbs, we have tube lights. So though all these electrical instruments, so they have their own source of generation of light. So once the source is switched on, the light starts generating. It starts from one location to other location. Then we have two types of second type of source. We call it non-luminous. So these are the sources, these are the objects which don't have their own source. Like you can have a piece of metal or piece of wood, etc. That kind of thing. Even we as a human are coming under this category. So we don't generate light, but people are able to see when the light falls on us, it gets reflected, and because of that, people are able to see us. So though if you see me right now if you are seeing me, you might see that I'm generating a light because I'm visible to you. I'm generating light, but it's not the case. In real case scenario, light is being fall upon me, and that light is being transmitted to you through this camera, and then you are able to see me. So I'm not a source. I'm not a luminous source, but I am a non-luminous source. So there are two types of object you will be seeing. One type of object which will be having their own source of light. They'll generate the light. And second type of object which will be, you will be able to see those objects when the light falls upon them. Okay, so that's how we define the types of source based upon the generation of light. Apart from that, we can also talk about the medium of light. Okay, because light starts from the source and it travels towards the receiver. So when we talk about the medium of light, we'll divide the medium into three categories. First is transparent medium. Like right now, this air is a transparent medium. Even a glass you will see is a transparent medium. So the medium which directly transmits the light without absorbing any is known as transparent medium. So if this is a glass, or it can be air as well. So light enters in that medium, it exits in the medium, and in the process, light don't get absorbed, or you can say whatever was the intensity in the beginning, the same intensity or brightness will remain there when it exit the medium. Okay, so when that kind of scenario is there, that kind of medium is there, we call it transparent medium there. Okay, so these transparent medium, we have an example like glass, air, a lot of other examples also we can get for these mediums. The second type is defined as translucent medium. So you see, we are dividing the medium based upon the absorption by the medium, absorption of light of the medium. Okay, so this translucent mediums will be the medium which will reduce the intensity of light. So where this I dash or brightness will be less than the original brightness. So these will be known as the translucent medium. You can see the example of these mediums. You can say the fog is one of the example, and again you can say any day in Delhi where the pollution is there, polluted air, and you can have this oil soaked paper. if you have, so that kind of thing. So these kind of medium, ultimately, they transfer the light. Some of the portion of light will be able to transfer through them. But when it transfers through these medium, the intensity of light is less than the intensity of light when it enters inside the medium. Okay. And then it comes the third aspect. Opaque medium. So see what is happening here. The intensity remains same here. Intensity decreases. And what will happen here? In case of opaque medium, there will be no light passing through the medium. So you can say, talk about this wall is that medium. So light don't transfer through the wall. Even our body is that medium. If a light strikes on our body, it will not be able to transfer through my body. Okay, so these are the mediums are known as the opaque medium. So based upon the absorbability, this property is called as absorbability or absorption property of the medium. So based upon the absorption property of the medium, we divide the medium into three categories: transparent, translucent, and the opaque. Okay, so we have studied two types of sources and we have studied three types of medium. Okay, thank you.